It's music time. Cat time comes later. I just fed you. I will pet you in like an hour. I know it sounds like a lot. You're gone. Okay. Good. Hello, everyone. Is this good? Yeah, this is good. Hello, everyone. Oh, God, it's so annoying. Stop shaking. Hi. Hi. This isn't going up very high. Should I just be like this the whole video? Hi, everyone. My name is Shwexx. This is ASMR now. That's rain. You're welcome. Alright. So what I'm doing is I'm going through and pulling out 15 samples for a production challenge. So I think probably a lot of you guys have seen something like this, probably from like Andrew Huang, or I don't know, maybe other people do it. I'm sure they do, but I've only seen his. Anyway, basically you give producers a sample or a handful of samples, and then they go and make a full song just using those samples. I know the way Andrew Huang does it is like usually a remix or like one sample that all these producers use, but in those videos producers are able to use drum samples, they're able to use synths or external like instruments, keyboards, basses. What I want to do is you're literally not able to use anything except for the samples. That's why there's 15. I want to make sure that I get things in there that have some sort of low end, some sort of tonality that you can use for like a synth, something with a fairly decent transient, or at least the ability to make a transient out of the sample. I know it's pretty easy to make transients out of almost anything, but anyway, so I'm going to be pulling the samples in here and just seeing what interesting stuff we come up with. So, I mean, I use Splice a lot, and I actually just downloaded this sample pack a little while ago that's called Whale Sounds, and it is exactly what you think it would be. Okay, maybe that's not what you think it would be. Hold on. This one. Yeah. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Okay. So I'm not going to use like I'm not going to go into drum perk and pull like a rim shot, because this has already been processed. But let's see if there's any interesting things that I can get here. Oh, that's a cool one. Honestly, that counts as like 5 right there. Jesus. Give like 5 whale sounds. There's 15. I feel like 15 is a lot. You know, I'm gonna do 10. Fuck it. It's my shit. I'm gonna do 10. And if anyone has an issue with it, they can come speak to me very nicely in a polite manner, and we can have a discussion about it like humans. Oh. Oh, that's too easy. Too easy. There, these have already been processed. I don't want processed ones. That's cool. And don't mind all this color and names and stuff. This is just my like default template. Too easy. Oh, that's cool. All right. Let me get one more whale sound. Nah, that's so many whale sounds. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with the whale sounds. Let's go into another pack that I have that I really enjoy exploring, which would be somewhere in here. Cymatics pack. Oh, Walmart recordings. So some of these are like super easy shakers and it's like Foley, but some of these, like this can be a little shaker. One 1,000%. I love that sound. I feel like that's too easy. Oh god. Let's throw it in there. See what they could do with it. Let's put this in there. Give a little potential for white noise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I like this like weird burp sound. Oh, actually, there's one more thing that I want. I don't remember where I got this or why I got this, but I remember it being so weird. Is it ear candy? Yeah. Like these two are so gross and I love them. I'm gonna add these. So how many do you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I don't know if we need 4 whale sounds. I'm gonna take out this super long one. Well, maybe I'll take it out. I want to make sure I have something that people can use for bass as some sort of low end. Okay. Alright, that can definitely be used for a bass. That one too, probably, if it's pitched down. Let's see. Oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. Okay. We got this. And we got this. Oh god. Okay. And this one. Then this baby. Then this little guy. Oh. And then the little guy next to him. I love that little... It's like a glass burp. I don't know how they did that. Ew. I don't know what these are, but they're disgusting and I'm into it. Ugh. Gross. Okay. And let me listen to this one again. I feel like it's too, like it's like 5 samples in one. It's literally 8 samples. I mean, a lot of them are similar or like the same, but no. Too much to go on. So I think we have 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Dope. Okay. So now I'm going to export each of these and put them in a folder. New folder. Shwexx. Always capital. Always capital. Producer challenge. Challenge. Perfect. Exactly what I wanted. Okay. I honestly don't know if I want them to know. Do I just want to literally name it sample 1 through 10? I feel like that'll give more mystery to it. I mean, I don't know what these are anyway. Like, what, gross sound 1, gross sound 2? I don't know. That may be funny to name them. Nah, I'm just gonna name them sample. What the fuck happened? No, no, no. Delete. Fuck you. It is done. Cool. So now I'm going to email this out to everyone and let the games begin. Well, actually, not right now. It'll begin tomorrow. I don't know. I'm posting this, so tomorrow for you will probably be like yesterday or 2 days ago. So I'll probably post this on Monday or Tuesday. Okay, that's it. End of video. I guess I'll link this with the process of me making it, which is honestly the most important part because it's me. The Shwexx. I need to stop recording now. I finished the song. I wouldn't say it's good, but it's a song, and it's, I think, exactly 1.5 minutes, which was what the challenge was. And I used, I would say, most of the clips. There was maybe 1 or 2 that I didn't use, but I'll break down some of the parts. So a lot of what I did was basically chopping samples and making them other things, which is pretty obvious. The beginning, I basically just took the original sample. This is sample 3. So I basically just took that and let it play out in the beginning, and then started chopping it up as time went on. So it sort of came out a little bit like this. So it sounds a little weird because there's no drums, but it makes sense. Then the hi-hats, I basically took the, not that one, nope, that one, which I guess is pretty obvious that this would become a hi-hat, but it's what I did. I just kind of chopped that up, so I was able to make hi-hats. For the processing here, there's really nothing. Is there even, like, I have EQ on, but I literally just have Neutron 3 elements on with nothing added to it. I literally just cut it. I think what I did was I cut it. I think I cut it and I pitched it down, and then I bounced it again as a hi-hat sample so I could put it in as MIDI. There may be an easier way to do that, but that was the easiest way for me. What else? I have a riser. The riser is made from, nope. What is the riser? Sample 6. Yeah, this is what makes the riser. And I just put a channel pitch on it. This actually has a pretty decent amount of processing as far as I know. Not too much. So I have reverb on there, pretty high reverb. I have an EQ taking off some of the high because it was super, super harsh. I put a bit crusher on, again, just to take out some of that harshness. And then a gain because it ended up being super low, but it's still like pretty subtle. But I'm okay with that. I also, I guess, maybe cheated a little bit and added Endless Smile in here, which, if you don't know what Endless Smile is, it's basically used for builds and rises. It has different presets that will do things like add reverb, add delay, add in like a sort of like a really soft riser. I wouldn't necessarily call it like a synth,
but there are some presets that you can actually hear like a little bit of an actual riser in there. It adds white noise and it cuts the lows. So it does a whole lot in literally like one knob. If you want to get it, it's actually like, it's 100% worth the money. I don't think it's that expensive either. Maybe like 30 or 60 bucks or something. I got it and I use it in literally every single song multiple times, and it saves me so much time compared to like adding risers, adding white noise, cutting the highs, adding reverb, adding delay, automating it all in your master, or like on a specific set of tracks. You want to add risers and stuff along with it, but like just that in general is so worth it. Anyway, so that's it for, I guess that was the only real riser I made. The kick was another one that I worked on. So the kick, I think, it was sample 3. So I don't remember. I think it's the first hit. Yeah, I think it's that first hit that I chopped up. And I did a little bit of processing, but oh no, I did basically no processing. Added an EQ just to take out the highs, cut out the sub, like the gross stuff. I put a transient on it, and an exciter, but it's really not much. I added just a volume automation just so that the end didn't clip. And then on top of that, what I did was I added basically the exact same thing, but cut in a third, and did a parallel compression. So this one is taking everything but the sub with another transient shaper, a super heavy compressor, ratio all the way up, threshold pretty high, and gain up, and then a sausage fattener on top of it. So that alone sounds like this. So it's really not much, but when it's combined, you can hear it actually give it a little bit more of a click, which is nice. Then I have sidechain through the whole thing. And then with the snare, this first snare is, which sample is this? Sample 5. So it's sort of like what I did with the hi-hat, but I added more processing to it. So cut out the lows, nothing special there. Bit of compression, nothing crazy. Added reverb, again, not anything crazy, and then sausage fattener again. But then I layered it with this sample. Oops. Which is literally just sample 8. Like I added an EQ and sausage fattener, so I just took out some of the highs and lows, but it's basically the same. So these are just layered on top of each other for the snare hits. Then for I already went over this. So that's basically the intro. And then for the pre-drop, I literally just took sample 5 and put it in there. Did I add a reverb? Maybe I had a reverb. I didn't pitch it down. I literally just added reverb. But whatever, it sounds good in context. And then once the actual once the actual drop starts, I messed around with this stuff a lot. I honestly don't know how much I ended up liking it, but I wasn't going to spend too much time on this. This is what the sound is. What it is a collection of things. So it's sample 2. So what I did was I added neutron elements, basically what a pretty typical like bass EQ for me, just boosting that low pretty high and then rolling off boosting that low, boosting that low pretty high and rolling off the highs. Weird thing to say, but it makes sense. I put OTT on, I pulled up the lows, sausage fattener again, and fruity limiter, which is basically just flattening some of those peaks. So I added a frequency shifter just to make it sort of more of a growl, so it goes from a high range and just drops down a little bit as it goes on. Nothing revolutionary. Then I layered it with this sample, which is the same one as sample 2. I think it is, did I do anything to it? I added EQ, I cut out the sub, and I moved it over a little bit just to give it a little bit more texture, so it didn't line exactly up with sample 2. And then I think did I do a frequency shift on here as well? No, I did literally nothing to this. Honestly, I'm not totally sure why this is here. I could probably get rid of this, but it's here. I don't really care. And then I added this sample. So this is that thing. But what I did with sample 10 was actually a pretty decent amount. So I did with Isotope Trash 2 with the preset Digital Bump Harder. I don't know. I just like putting things through trash and just seeing what happens. It's like a fun pastime of mine because I have nothing else to do with my life. Then I added OTT, added sausage fattener, added decapitator, using a dark fat bass preset, another frequency shifter, which I think is this one, just mixes it up a little bit, and then a ring mod. And that's basically it. So yeah, so this whole sound with all the pieces together sounds like probably easier way to do this, but I don't know how. This. So it's really nothing wild, but it's just a nice intro thing to do in the drops. Then for my sub, I actually got a pretty nice sound out of the sub. I knew that I had good lows, but I wasn't totally sure how they would translate. This sub is using, not serum, it's using, honestly, I don't remember which sample this is. Not one. I think I'm using sample 2. And what I did was I basically cut it up, took out the part that I wanted, put a volume automation on it, bounced it, which is this. I had pitched it down also. Then I bounced it, came out with that, and then cut that up into midis. So finding the notes of what all these things are in was a little tricky. I'm really not great with music theory. I'm trying to get better, but it's still taking some time. So I did my best to figure out what the notes were using Newtone in FL Studio. If you don't know what Newtone is, I'm sure it has a lot of uses. I specifically use it to take samples, I put it into Newtone, and Newtone tells me the general note of that sample. A lot of times it's right, and it helps me out, so I like to use it. From that sub, I went and started building the synths. So this is what I have for my synth. Actually, let me use this one first. So this is the MIDI. So the MIDI is from this sound. And that I'm pretty sure is from sample 1. So that's a cut of that scream at the like middle to end of sample 1. Did the same thing that I did with the sub. Cut it. I may have pitched it down. I don't quite remember. But I cut it, resampled it, and then put it into MIDI. From here, I have a pretty decent amount of processing on here. So I have EQ. The EQ is a little weird. It's cutting out some of the mids because I have it resampled to cover that space, and it's giving me basically the highs. Added OTT to that. Sausage fattener as usual. If you can't tell, I love sausage fattener. There is a frequency shifter on here. So it takes it from a super lame pattern and adds like a bunch of flavor to it. So that is that for the frequency shifter. Added some reverb, added another ring modulator. This reverb is not always on. Basically, I'm automating the wet throughout the song. Something I learned from Eliminate. I'm sure a lot of people do it. I'm sure it's not an Eliminate thing, but I know he does it a lot. I'll have the wet automation go all the way up, and it gives sort of like a suck into the next part of the song. So after I did the frequency shifter automation, I bounced it and pitched it all the way down to get this and layered that on top. And all I did here was added an EQ to take those mids and added another ring modulator, which is the two ring modulators. One is really nice for the highs and one is nice for the lows. So I just added different ones in different places. But together they sound like this. What else did I do? That's basically it for like most of the drop. I'll show you the reverb. So this hit right here normally will sound like this, but with that reverb automation it sounds like this. So it kind of like sucks it into the next part, which I really like. For the hi-hats, I also added sort of a more trappy hi-hat. It's literally the exact same thing as... Oh, sorry. It's the same thing as this hi-hat. Just, I think it's pitched up, and just adds a little bit more flavor. It's a little bit lower. I also added this open hi-hat, which is this sound. That sound. Did it the first time. Got it. Didn't need to cut at all. This sound. And I reversed it, cut it, and did I do anything else to it? Oh, I added some distortion. And any EQ? No. So that's just doing the off notes. Then in this part, this is like kind of like the only other weird thing that I did. What I did here was added the pre-drop sample back in, but as it started going down, I just cut the end and just kept playing it through the song, or through that part. just to add another layer and sort of meld it into what was happening in the drop. That's all the pieces. So, like I said, I would not put this out anywhere, but I will play it for you guys, and hopefully you like it. I guess we'll see. So that's it. Now, the other thing I got was songs from other people. So I'm going to play them for everyone. And I haven't heard these yet, so I will be reacting to my thoughts on them. Let me get my headphones. So this is my friend who goes by Countbass. Let's see what he did. I love that reverb. Wow, he got such a cool bass out of this. I like that super trancey kick. Oh, he played with the panning too. This is really good. Oh, that's nice. That was super cool. I really, really, really like that. He sent me some of his other stuff, and he always has like such a good sense of space in his songs. His reverb, his delay, his silence is really, really well done in a lot of his work. But I loved what he did with this. I thought it was super cool. And a lot of things I honestly do not know how he made, like this part in the beginning. That bass, I don't know how he did that, but that is so good. Like, I would use that as a patch. Like, I would just use that in a normal song. It's awesome. So the other one I got was from Arty Skye, from Skyelab. Let's see. Also, just with those like super cool synths. This is like a super like old school dance vibe, which I like. I love what he did with those samples there. That's a great snare. Yeah, that was awesome. That was super, super, super good. Oh man, I definitely feel like the worst out of these three. But that was dope. Also, love the use of the synths. Arty's really good with like melodies and notes, which I'm not good at yet. But I love the melodies he had in there and the way the notes played off each other. I thought it was really, really well done. And the same thing as Countbass, he used the samples really well, made some really, really cool stuff out of them. So, yeah, I thought it was awesome. So that's really it for this. I want to do it again. Unfortunately, I had 3 other producers that wanted to do it, but the timing just didn't work out. So I'm going to do another one of these for sure, hopefully sometime soon. And I want to include them in this. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have specific samples that you would like to see us use, let me know. I love doing this and I want to keep doing it. I feel like it really helps me play with samples, use things out of my normal wheelhouse. Like I haven't really used ring mod much before this. Even frequency shifter I used, but I didn't get that deep into. And sampling, resampling, I haven't done a lot of that before this, so it really helped me play around a lot with these things. So I really enjoyed it. And yeah, I guess that's it. So again, thanks guys for joining, and I will catch you next time.